So this is the latest communication from the NDC. First off, we knew that he had been suspended indefinitely. Now the party has taken this decision. Let's talk about what actually went into this. The Functional Executive Committee, or the Disciplinary Committee, we know, said that they found his behavior, allegations of misconduct and anti-party behavior, and recommend his outright expulsion from the party. What exactly are the details, please?
Thank you very much. I think that the party is a party of laws, and so our constitution provides for a disciplinary procedure. So we assume everybody innocent until they are proven guilty. That is why when anybody is reported as having, flouted the party's code of conduct, we don't dismiss straight away. We give the person opportunity to be heard and defend himself. If he so chooses to be represented with a lawyer and other things, they are all allowed. So in this particular instance, a report was made and Koku's conduct was referred to the disciplinary committee. We all thought that he will avail himself the opportunity of being heard. And as the report indicates, all attempts to, get him to respond to the issues that have been raised failed because he consistently evaded service, even service through courier, to which we have, receipts. The response we had was that he actually refused to take delivery of the letter for stated reasons. In some cases, it is for security reasons. In another case, he says he's not expecting any letter from us, so he will not take the letter. So I think that is, when you read the disciplinary committee's report, they concluded that having given him close to 1 year to avail himself of the process, the committee concluded the report and recommended his expulsion. And according to Article 49(9) also of our Constitution, once you have a recommendation from the disciplinary committee, it takes at least 2/3 majority to overturn their recommendation. Fortunately or unfortunately, in this case, we had a total endorsement of the committee's recommendation. So I had the unpleasant duty of communicating this to the public and to him as, the person whose conduct is in question.
Must have been a tough decision for you, knowing that this was your former Deputy General Secretary. But really, what actually was the misconduct of Mr. Koku Anyidoho?
If you get the report, you can tell the details. This case happened somewhere, the beginning of the year, or I think last year or so. So it's been a long while. But it has to do with some utterances that he made, and he persistently made against the party that is calculated to bring the image of the party into disrepute.
Utterances, some say that this could be the party's way of stifling free speech. Inaccurate?
No, that is not accurate assessment, because we have never sought to stifle anybody's free speech. There is freedom of speech, but there is consequences after a wrong speech. And that is the democratic principle that is observed everywhere. You can speak your mind freely. Nobody will stop you from speaking. But you must be responsible for your utterances. So if your utterances are found to be offensive to the rules of the organization, you are dealt with according to the same rules of the organization. That is why we did not rush to take any decision. You have to exhaust the disciplinary process.
And he's been asked to return party property in his custody. Which party properties are these? Do we know?
No, that is a standard clause that if there is any party property, in fact, it is lifted from our constitution. After expulsion, if you are holding any party property, you are requested to return it. And then after expulsion, if you had paid any dues or any monies to the party, those dues stand forfeited. So it's a standard provision from our constitution which we lifted into the letter.
As a General Secretary of the NDC, would you say you've lost an asset in Mr. Koku Anyidoho?
No.
Not at all. This is a former Deputy General Secretary of your party.
Well, it doesn't matter. The party, NDC party, is like a moving train. I made this declaration somewhere in 2006 that the NDC party is like a moving train. People will get on board and people will alight, but it will not stop the train from moving to its destination. So a party is like a living organization. So it will grow new branches and leaves and stems, whilst other branches, leaves and stems will be falling. But the tree will still continue growing.
When you talk of the 2/3 decision to overturn this disciplinary committee recommendation, are you talking about the functional executive committee?
Yes, at what level, if it is a disciplinary matter relating to constituency, then you are talking about constituency executive committee. If it is a matter relating to the regional, then you are talking about the regional. So the provision relates to the structure that is dealing with the disciplinary matter.
Okay, I asked that because in the statement it says that the Functional Executive Committee, acting in compliance with Article 448(1) of the NDC, unanimously adopted the report. Is that a suggestion that you have no say at all in these matters when the recommendation comes?
When the recommendation comes, you need 2/3 majority to overturn the recommendation.
Okay.
Of the disciplinary committee.
And
but in this case, we have even not 1% against the recommendation. So I have a painful duty to communicate that one and execute the decisions of the Functional Executive Committee. And that is what I have done.
If Mr. Anyidoho wants to join the NDC again, does he have the opportunity to reapply?
Yes. But he comes as a fresh applicant. So no record of what he has done before, any service that he has done, is all wiped off. So if he's coming, he will be coming as a fresh applicant.
Okay. Finally,
and it will depend upon his acceptance by a branch of the party, endorsed by constituency, and so on. So the rules are there, and I keep on saying that even if Dr. Baumia today decides that he is leaving MPP to join NDC, nobody prevents him from so doing. He's free to apply, and then the branch to which he's applying will assess the application and then refer it to the constituency level, and if he's accepted, he becomes a member of the party.
And briefly, just before we let you off, Mr. Asiedu Nketia, if you had your way as the General Secretary, would this be the decision?
If I had
a way, if you had your way,
as a General Secretary.
Exactly. If this lies in your power, would this be the decision?
Unfortunately, it doesn't lie within my power. So I'm a General Secretary of the party, and so I comply with party decisions. And that is what I have done. And once the party decides, I'm bound to implement that decision.
Super. We're grateful. That's the General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia.